Hello everyone, NetherTrey here, and welcome to my Let's Play Resonant Rise 3, Episode 30. Here we go. Alright guys, so this is how our power storage looks after I've fancied it up a little bit. None of these blocks actually do anything, they're all cosmetic, just to make it look a little cooler. Not that it doesn't look cool already, I mean look at that thing. But anyway, so these four pillars sticking up out of the ground here are where we're going to put power into this thing. So we're going to need to build something in order to get the power into this thing. We're going to need 4 tesseracts first of all, because they're just nicer than cables running everywhere. So let's get 4 tesseracts going. And while they're cooking up, let's make the other piece that we need. Now, in order to get the power out of this thing, we're going to need a special block. And it's another draconic evolution block. And it is in this little guide. So let's scroll down here to our energy storage multiblock. Scroll all the way down. And to add and remove energy from the core, you need to place energy pylons within 15 blocks of the core. So we're going to need 4 energy pylons. And they're made just like this, so we're going to need 4 of these. 4 Eyes of Ender. We have no blaze powder. Oh, that actually makes 2, so we have too many. So we're going to need 4. We're actually going to need 1 more. Oops, and we made a bunch. So, oh well. So, now that we have our energy pylons, we're actually going to stick them there, but we need the tesseracts first. So let's see how far we are on those. Alright guys, I'll be right back when the tesseracts are ready. Alright guys, so now that we've got a bunch of tesseracts, we can throw them right inside these holes. And one there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to change the frequency that our turbines are outputting on. So like this one should be sending power, yes. So main power, instead of sending it to main power, we are going to set up frequency 4, and we are going to name it turbine power. And that should be energy mode send only, yes. Add that in there. This one we need to move because it's not in the right place. This is actually going to shut down one of our turbines completely, which means we're going to have to let it wind up again, which is okay. It's just kind of a hassle. We're going to need more turbine glass. Where did I hide our terminal? Right here. So, luckily we already have some turbine glass made, so we don't even need to make that. Oops, I only need 3. Back down underneath. Gonna break this one, and this one, and get our turbine power ports. This one should be set to main power. We're gonna add in our 2 power cables. The reason we have the 2 power cables on the side is because these conduit blocks, these power out blocks, can only send 10,000. I think it's 10,000 RF per tick, and the turbine's making like 24. So it's going to take 3 of them to get all of the power out and into the tesseract. Let's see if this setting changed. No. Okay, so that's going to speed back up. It's going to take a little while, but that's fine. Set this one to turbine power. And then I think, yeah, and this one's not ready yet. So that should be all of them. Now we should be able to go into one of these tesseracts and set it to turbine power, check. But this one should be set to receive only. We're going to sit our energy pylon right on top of there, and then we're going to need to take a piece of glass, set it on top of there, and it's going to make that little orb. If we whack that with a wrench, it should start now feeding power into this guy, which it is. As far as I know, it doesn't tell us what the rate that it's transferring is, but right now it should be all 3 of those turbines dumping all of its power into this. I don't think there's a limit to the amount of power these can accept, and I know that tesseracts don't have a limit to the amount of power they can input and output. So if you go directly from one tesseract to another and directly into this machine, it should just be able to dump everything, which is cool. And the way we should be able to tell is if we look in here, if our turbine is empty, then yeah, that means it's dumping all its power. Cool, so that's working. So we are now filling up 1 power. So we got power going into that guy. And we're also going to need power coming out of that guy. Now, this, I'm debating if I just want to send it into one of these pylons or these little towers, or if I want to put it like in the middle here and have it draw from the bottom. I think eventually what I'm going to do is, even though I can do it all through one like this, I'm going to have each of the turbines send its power separately to a different pylon, just to make it look a little cool. And then underneath I'll put the one that's sending power out. So in order to do that, we're going to need some more blocks. Like that. And then the piece of glass we'll put there. And then the pylon goes here. Now, can we actually get in here? Yes. Now that should, yes, that is pulling power in. So we're going to set our tesseract right here. And this is going to be main power. And that is going to send only. Now that should send power up to our storage block up here. But it's not. So this is receiving on main power. I wonder if I need to switch this around. No, it's pulling power in. Yeah, it's definitely storing power. So this main power, energy mode, send only. Should be sending power. On the main power frequency. This guy should be receiving power on the main power frequency. And this guy should be pulling in from the backside. Well, let me do a little bit of research and figure out why this isn't accepting power. Okay guys, so it is actually accepting power. It was just dumping it all into the tesseract on the bottom that was going to the end quarry. So the power is working just fine. I'm pulling in about 49,000 right now. That's partially because one of our turbines is not running at full power because we had to shut it down to move the power cables. Is it this one? No. Must be this one. So we're going to disengage the coils, let this spin up a little bit faster. Cool. So we now have insane amounts of power storage. So now that we've got that all figured out, let's start working on our space exploration endeavors. So I'm going to just let this spin up slowly because I don't want to let it go and forget that I left it spinning up. So we're going to come back up here to our work area, and you know what I really need? I need to get a terminal over here. But where am I going to put a terminal? I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But we are going to get into some galacticraft. So in order to get into galacticraft, we are going to need a bunch of things. We're going to need a NASA workbench, which requires a whole bunch of things, but primarily it needs advanced wafers and compressed steel. Compressed steels are made in compressors, which is an item from galacticraft. There's actually two of them. There is a compressor and there's an electric compressor. Now really we want the electric compressor because that's what does it through electricity, so we don't have to power it with coal. The only problem is the electric compressor needs compressed items in order to make it. So we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to make a regular compressor first. In order to make the compressed metals, to make the electric one, and in order to make this, we need wafers. In order to make wafers, you need a circuit fabricator. So the first thing we're going to need is a circuit fabricator. And that's pretty easy to make. Aluminum wire is just aluminum with some wool. So let's go ahead and make some of that. We're going to need a lever, a furnace, redstone torch, and some buttons. And that will make a circuit fabricator. So now that we've got a circuit fabricator, we can take it over to our space room, which is going to be right here, and I will clean this up a little bit later. I just want to get some basic things going while we're recording. So in order to get this going, I am going to plunk it down right, let's just do it right here for now. We're going to need some conduits. Too many holes. Now, one of the things about galacticraft that I don't really like, and I hope they fix in the future, is that you have to put items and power in on certain sides. So for instance, the circuit fabricator only accepts power through this side. It won't even connect on the other side, at least not from Ender IO conduits. So what we're going to do is we're going to run it around the side like this, and then it'll connect. And we are going to disconnect this because that does not need to be there. Cool. So now it's getting in power. And we are able to make circuits. So what we're trying to make is a compressor. So we need this compressor, which means we need an anvil, a bunch of aluminum, and a basic wafer. So the basic wafer is a diamond, 2 silicon, and a redstone torch. Diamond, 2 silicon, redstone torch, and a redstone. Take these items, throw it in our circuit fabricator, just like that. And we wait a little bit, and that'll give us 3 basic wafers. And we'll go back over here to our system, throw in those wafers. Now, I'm almost wishing I would have picked up those anvils. Come on, there we go. There. I almost wish we would have picked up those anvils that we saw when we were in the end flying through those towers. Alright, so that'll get us a regular compressor, which is cool. So we're going to take this over, and we have to see, actually this will not run on power. This is the basic compressor. There's no power input side, and it has a fuel slot, so it runs on some kind of fuel. We're going to grab probably some blaze rods, actually, because I think we have tons of those. Yeah, we got like 4,000, so we'll grab a bunch of blaze rods. Now, the electric compressor needs compressed bronze, which is just copper plates and compressed copper and compressed tin, and that's made with copper ingots and tin ingots. We're also going to need compressed steel. Compressed steel is 2 steel or 2 refined ingots. So we're going to need, once again, steel. So let's get a bunch of that going. We'll let that craft up a while. We're also going to need an advanced wafer. Advanced wafer is made with a diamond, 2 silicon, a redstone, and a redstone repeater. So we're going to need a redstone repeater. Got a redstone repeater. Diamond. Wow, we're running short on diamonds again. 2, so actually we'll use this silicone because it's not useful for anything else. We might as well use it for galacticraft. And a redstone. Well, while we're here, we're also going to grab a stack of copper and a stack of tin. So we can get some bronze plates going. throw those in along with our copper, and that'll start making our copper plates. Just like that. We're also going to come over here to our circuit fabricator, throw in our repeater, or redstone, or diamond, and our 2 silicon, and that'll start making our advanced circuit. While that's going, let's see how our steel is making up. Oh, refined iron. Wow, that was fast actually. We're going to need a whole lot of this, so we're going to let it make some more. This thing is actually kind of slow, so there's our advanced wafer. Let's take our copper out, and we're going to do a couple of these. What did we need for our electric compressor? 4 steel and 1 compressed bronze, so not really that much. So take that and one of those. That should make a compressed bronze. There we go, and then we'll let this make up a bunch of steel. While we're waiting on that, we might as well go down and throw in our other energy pylons. We'll set this to turbine power. Gonna need one more piece of glass. All 4 of our pylons are sending power from our turbines into this guy. So right now we have already stored 1 billion, about 1,040,000,000 RF. And that is not even close to the maximum. That it can hold about 2,000 times more than what it's holding right now. So yeah, this is going to hold a lot of power, and it's going to take a long time to fill it up. See how our steel plates are going. That's enough to make what we want to make. So go right here to the crafting station, and we'll look up compressor. We're missing aluminum wires. Which I'm sure we made. There they are. Now what are we missing? An anvil. So we need another anvil. I hate those recipes that have items that like blink and you have to wait for the right one to pop up. All right. Electric compressor, cool. So we don't need to use blaze rods anymore. And of course the power input is on that side, so we're just going to flip this guy around. We can use it from behind, that works just fine. And this guy we don't need anymore. Another stack of refined steel. Let's see if we can make another one. Yep, no problem. So we'll let that cook up. So now that we've got compressed plates coming in, let's see what else we need to work on. So we need a NASA workbench, which means we need another advanced wafer. We're also going to need a crafting table, and we don't have enough wood. So we need an advanced wafer, 2 more levers, redstone torch, 4 compressed steel we have, advanced wafer, diamond, 2 silicon, redstone repeater. We're out of sticks. So that'll get us our repeater. We need a piece of redstone, no, not a redstone torch. Diamond. And silicon. That'll make us another advanced wafer. We'll take these out. While we're over here, actually, let's switch this up so that instead of sending power to the end quarry, let's send it to our main quarry. See if that's still hooked up. Where's my bag? Right here. Yes, that is still hooked up. So that's now sending normal overworld items to us. How much draconium do we have? 660 ingots. That's enough for a while because we're done making the big resource hog, which was that energy storage thing. So we've got enough draconium for now. We'll let our regular quarry run. Take our advanced wafer. And we have our NASA workbench. Now, I don't think this requires power. This is basically where we make our rockets. So you can see there's all kinds of like spaces to put things and all kinds of stuff. So now we have that. Before we can use it, we got to look up how to make a rocket. So, tier 1 rocket. That is made with heavy duty plates, a nose cone, a tier 1 rocket engine, 4 rocket fins. That'll get us a tier 1 rocket. So heavy duty plates. We're going to need heavy duty plates for the nose cones. That's just 3 heavy duty plates and a redstone torch. The rocket fins is a bunch more heavy duty plates and some compressed steel. And this is a whole bunch more heavy. We're going to need a lot of heavy duty plates. Heavy duty plates are compressed bronze, compressed aluminum, and compressed steel. So I am going to make a ton of this stuff and just let this thing run, making huge quantities of plates. So I'm going to need a stack of tin, stack of copper, all this refined iron. We'll make some more of it. Cool. I'll be back. Alright guys, so I'm still compressing up ingots here, and I've done a little bit of work to the room. I got the basic layout done. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 3 layers in this side of the base for galacticraft stuff. One layer is going to be for converting oil into fuel and basically being like an oil refinery. One layer is going to be for all the machinery that we need to produce our compressed ingots and our fabricator and all that kind of stuff. And one layer I think is probably going to be for like oxygen production and maybe transferring items between planets and that kind of stuff. This isn't going to be a wall, this is actually going to be a big opening, and it's going to go into the silo where we're going to house our rockets. So that's kind of where I'm headed with this. But it's going to take a while to dig all this out and to compress all the ingots that we need to make all these different things. We're also going to need to make our suit, or our oxygen tanks and everything that we need to survive on alien planets, our oxygen mask, our oxygen gear, our oxygen tanks. So it's going to take quite a bit of work to get all this stuff going. And like I said, I'm not real experienced with this mod, so there's a lot of things that I don't know about it. I know we have to have a parachute for when we return. I don't know if it matters that I can fly. That might be a thing. These armors that are part of galacticraft, I assume they're optional. I think they're just armors, like regular armors. They're not actually like spacesuits. So I think I can wear my draconic armor and just have my my gear, my space gear, like my oxygen mask and stuff separate. Because there's another tab right here where you put all that stuff over here. So it shouldn't. What is this slot for? I wonder if you can use like cosmetic items. I don't even know. But yeah, so I'm going to dig into this. I'm going to make a whole bunch more of that stuff. I'm going to do some more work to this room in between episodes. And so that's the plan. So if you guys like this episode, please give me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and have a good one.